7th or 8th grade in school, people quit calling me by my first name and just solely call me by my last, which I totally prefer anyway. But yeah, I've the pastor of the Parkview Baptist Church, been there for going on 7 years now. I'm also the public information officer for the Longview Police Department. I've been in that role for a little over a year, but I've been with the department since 2013. Married to the most beautiful woman in the world, Jillian.
That'll keep you in the house.
Typically, I'm yeah, for the most part, I'm kind of known now as Miss Brown's husband.
I like that. I like that.
With her being a school teacher. It used to be that she was Officer Brown or Pastor Brown's wife, but now, since she's had so many kids come through her classroom, it's, you're Miss Brown's husband. So
role reverse.
I'm Mrs. Brown's husband.
Not even kind of. I do like it. I like it.
And I do have one daughter, Leela, and a lot of people know about Tashawn, who I also raised. So that's a short story about me.
I think that's very interesting because a lot of people don't know that you adopted a son and raised a son. Tell us about that, because I think that's just really important for people to know, because you weren't married at the time when you adopted him. You were just single black man, which is really important for us to pour into other young black men. So can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Sean was, when I was working patrol, he's a kid that I encountered and didn't necessarily have everything going for him at that point in time in his life. And he actually asked, could he come live with me? And I told him no, because at that point I didn't like kids.
Single guy.
I grew up not liking kids.
Yeah.
Did you have siblings?
Yeah, I have like 6 of them.
Is that maybe that's what turned you away from?
But
Okay.
I was raised by my grandparents.
Oh.
And so it was my aunt and I that was in the house, and she's way older than I am. So at that point in time, she was born I was born when she was in middle school. Mm-hmm. But after she left, I was kind of on my own with just me and my grandma and my pawpaw. Mm-hmm. So I thought I had the best life, and Vought is wrong for putting that on there. But anyway.
All right, here we go.
Hey.
Look, he already said it. Yeah, he already said it once. Yeah.
Love that. Shout out to Vought for putting that on there. We love that.
There's no shout out to Vought.
Okay.
It'd be your own.
I forgot we were live. Yeah.
But he asked if he can come live with me. I told him no. But he ended up finding his way there with my grandparents at first, and then transitioning with me. And he was with me up until 5 years ago, maybe, when he moved on from there. But yeah, Tashawn was with me his whole time in high school, and boy, that was interesting.
So go ahead.
No, I didn't want to interrupt. So tell us how he's matriculated and moved on.
He now works in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
He has an oil field job, and he's doing relatively well for himself. He's typical kid, having to learn a lot of stuff the hard way. Mm-hmm. But thankfully, he had people in his corner never giving up on him.
Yeah.
And he never gave up on himself, which is the most important thing. That, you can have the whole world against you, but if you continuously fight for your own success, then you'll be fine.
I might have misunderstood you. You said that he was living with you with your grandparents?
So I ended up moving out, and when I moved out, my grandparents found their way with me.
Okay. Okay,
so
got you.
We were kind of all in there together.
Okay.
Which was cool because I didn't cook. My grandma do.
You got it perfect.
I've never been the do the yard type of guy.
Oh.
My granddaddy did
okay,
that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It just worked out great for me.
Suggesting more people do that. Okay, families pull together. Okay,
Absolutely.
I'm trying to convince my parents to move home with me right now. My question for you is, when you talk about your grandmother, I know Winsley said that's how y'all connected originally, right?
My great-grandmother.
Oh, great-grandmother. Winsley,
Miss
tell us the
Pearl.
story of how you met the officer.
He wasn't the officer.
Oh, he was just Ladarian.
Officer.
Wait, hold on. He was Brown at that point because he had already passed.
No, he was Pooh.
He was
There you
Pooh.
go.
That's what I'm
Got
trying to tell
it.
you. So
Okay.
Bob wasn't wrong. He was
Killing me.
Pooh.
Okay, come
I'm
on,
not
come on.
killing you, man. Listen.
Tell us about it.
So, like everybody know me. His great grandma, Miss Clara, gave me the speech about he was gonna be over there quite often. So I needed to tone down certain activities and be, on my best behavior because she didn't want him to be influenced to pick up on anything that I had going on across the street. And I said, okay, cool. So when he first get over there, I'm thinking he's gonna be like running around wild or whatever. Nah, that ain't what he was doing. Only thing he wanted to do was just sit on the porch and sing. That was his thing.
Mm.
Like he would literally just be able to just sing like church songs. Anything that was appropriate for him to sing, he would sing it. And this people think I be lying when I say this. Like he wasn't. Let me say this: he wasn't yelling. He wasn't just a kid just yelling real loud. Nah, he was holding notes, tones, like
soulful.
you could hear him because the guy behind me, name was Curtis Raspberry. Curtis Raspberry mother was like super old, and she would literally sit on her porch, which was facing towards Cotton, and she could hear him from the next street over.
Not belting out like that. Hold on, vocals.
He had a voice on him. He had a voice like he could go. Like when he walked with his grandma, she didn't need no radio. Pooh was the radio. And that would go all the way from wherever store they was going to, which normally was up at the corner store, to the gas station or whatever, going around to clean up the church or over to her sister or folks' house over there on the other side. But yeah, whenever you knew they was going, you knew they was coming because the radio was playing, Pooh was singing. Everybody knew that.
So you weren't surprised when he became a pastor or anything like that?
No.
But you were law enforcement before you started pastoring?
Yes and no.
What made you want to go to the badge first? Or what happened? What was your transition to?
So I surrendered to the call to preach at the age of 15.
Oh, wow.
So I really started really, really young, preaching. And I was an assistant pastor and associate pastor and all that good stuff. I didn't become a senior pastor of Parkview Baptist Church until 2019. So being a police officer is something that I wanted to do.
When did you know that?
I knew that very early on. I was kind of sharing the story with Winslow and Flip that my great-grandmother is the reason why I became police officer.
Why is that?
Police. So my great-grandmother, Miss Clara May Creighton, God rest her soul, she was very involved with Crime Watch Group. As a matter of fact, Timpson was ran by Miss Daisy Carradine, and my grandmother took care of the business edition side when it came down to Crime Watch groups. But they worked together to kind of bring the resources together for watch parties, block parties, and all that good stuff.
Like community policing?
100%.
Oh, okay.
Citizen on patrol.
Okay.
We had 2 police area representatives because that's a program the police department, Long Beach Police Department, started in the 90s. We had Sergeant Archie Flannery and Officer Clay Winberg. Clay Winberg is actually the guy that works at our front desk now when you come into the police department. But those folks, those officers, ate at my great-grandma's table.
So you had early in your life.
At my great-grandmother's funeral, Clay came and he was actually talking about my great-grandmother's tea cakes and her Coca-Cola cake because they used to come there and eat. So I grew up around police officers. I grew up not being afraid of them because I just grew up with them being regular people. But in the late 90s, early 2000s, my great-grandmother was leading protests in front of trap houses with signs and bullhorns talking about up with hope, down with dope.
Wow.
And those officers facilitated that for them. And my grandma always taught us, and not just me, but all of us, that you should always look out for people in your community. You shouldn't just look out for yourself, that you should be doing whatever you can to better your own community. And so with that, I've always wanted to be police. People will tell you, folks who went to Longview High School with me, Jefferson Middle School with me, they'll tell you they were not surprised at all. Maisha, baby, we knew he was going to be a preacher.
And the police in high school. There you
Both
go.
of them.
Just because that's kind of always been a part of our makeup, of my makeup, rather. I know that God called me to be a preacher and a pastor. I really think that God allows me to be the police.
Okay.
And I love what I do. I really do love what I do.
So even more in loving what you do, tell me, because I'm sure policing has changed over, a certain amount of time, and especially in the role you're in now, being public information officer versus being out on patrol, right, on the beat.
Absolutely.
So kind of, would you talk to us about what that's like now, just kind of policing in Longview right now? Because I think that's another thing that people always talk about is, there kind of being a disconnect. But before we even get there, what is it like being a police officer here in Longview? What is the feel there?
Being a police officer in Longview, in my humble opinion, is the honor of a lifetime for me. I'm from here. This is home. I view these are my people.
Yep.
Early on in my career, I was very big. I hated working traffic accidents. So I wrote a lot of tickets. I was a ticket writer. Most people who do not like Officer Brown is because they got a ticket by Officer Brown.
That'll do it.
And so, but the reason why I was that way is because I've seen people hurt severely behind crashes. I actually was a police explorer as a teenager, which is a program that we have at the police department to kind of get young people to learn about the profession and see, hey, if this is something that you really want to do or not. So I did that all through high school.
Is it like a ride along?
Yeah, essentially.
Oh, okay.
But it is a program where they solely teach you about the profession.
Okay.
And so I did that all through high school. And one incident, one crash, I'll never forget it. It actually ended up being a fatality where people were leaving watch night service from church and ended up being hit by a drunk driver.
Oh.
And some of the people in the car died. I've never forgotten that incident. I've never forgotten that crash. And so when I became a police officer, I wanted to prevent that type of stuff from happening. Because like I said, this is home. So working scenes, I typically know the people. If I don't know them, I probably know somebody that they do know. So working here is a great honor for me. And like I said, I enjoy it.
So I was talking to Chief Boone today, and I saw where the crash record has gone down. What do you think has attributed to that? Like, what do you think has made it go down here in the city?
Well, there's no thinking to it. We are actually a data-driven law enforcement agency to where we don't just make stuff happen just out of thin air. No, we actually look at the data weekly, monthly, yearly. And if you notice, you've seen us do a lot more traffic stops. People tend to kind of abide by the traffic laws when they see the police out. If you're going down High Street in the 2100 block of High Street, it's a 40, right? This is just an example. If you go through there at 55, you get a ticket. Next time you come through, what do you go do?
Yeah, you ain't doing 55 for sure.
Yeah, let me ask you that. A lot of people, they have a problem. They got a problem with how they see everybody on jail base and for the I don't want to say petty crimes, but for like insurance, stuff that you normally wouldn't see regularly, but it's happening more often now. Can you explain what shifted? And like you say, is it for discipline to get things rolling in the right way, or is it kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's something that...
Is it to build a police station?
Well, Flip, that's an excellent question. I'm gonna answer yours first.
Thank you. Thank you.
What people understand, the citations, what people need to learn is that the citations we write and the fines you pay, that does not come to the police department.
That is a good point, because I tell people all the time, it is not economic development for the police to stop you. People believe it though.
So the new police station that was built has absolutely nothing to do with the citations that are written. that's all bond money.
Mm.
That is money that the citizens approved to build that building.
Mm.
So we're not funding our department based off of citations. We're funding our department based off tax dollars.
Right.
So let me ask, when you said,
But,
go ahead.
let me answer Flip's question
Oh, yeah,
before we move
yeah.
on. And so when Flip asked that you're seeing people on Say Cheese and on Busted for what some people may say little bitty stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that's not our fault. So all of those that you're seeing, those are warrants where someone was issued a citation some time ago, and the judge has now signed a warrant saying, hey, bring them to me. Next time a person go to jail for a warrant, next time you get a warrant, read it.
Mm-hmm.
If you read that warrant, you will clearly state that the judge says to the chief or the sheriff or the deputies or officers that work within said agency, it is their responsibility to bring this person to me. If the court is closed, how do we take you to the judge?
Gotta arrest
Jail.
you.
Mm.
So that is why you see stuff like that on jail base, because people really aren't taking care of their responsibilities when it comes down to citations.
So it doesn't matter what the citation is, because petty or
It's a
not,
warrant.
if you're arrested and it's a warrant, you're going to
It's over
be
with.
put up there.
What do we call them a petty citation?
Well,
Like you
I
said,
think
like
any
insurance,
citation, it doesn't. I don't think we can necessarily say that they're petty or not, because a citation is a
I
citation.
agree with that.
You know, so I think we just have to say any citation. What we might consider petty, somebody else might not. So you know, you can't put that moniker on there. A citation is a citation. Broke the
So-
law, broke the law.
So I will say that, you know, you're not seeing us arrest people for no insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing where somebody got a citation for no insurance. They did not
Didn't
fulfill their
show up.
obligation with the court.
Okay.
And now the judge has issued a warrant, and they're being booked on a warrant for no insurance that they have to see the judge on.
Who's putting that picture up? Is it a third party, or are y'all doing that?
We have nothing to do with
So
that.
it's a third party that's finding
Absolutely.
their mugshots and putting it up.
So
Mm.
I can tell you now, the Long Beach Police Department has nothing to do with Say Cheese or Busted or anything of that nature. That is not our
Well,
doing.
it's sort of like extortion to me, because if you get you got to pay $100 to keep your picture off of, but I don't never pay the $100 because I don't never commit crimes that I'm ashamed of. So what I'm saying is, no, for real.
But that's not them. That's not them putting up the picture, though. That's something that you would have to take up with that third party that's putting y'all's picture out.
But it's, what I'm getting at is this here. A bunch of people do pay the $100 so they don't be on there.
Yeah.
But if everybody laundry's out there, everybody laundry should be out there. Because a lot of people that's paying the $100 to get it off of there, it brings the red flag up, like, why was you in there?
Mm.
And then sometimes it comes out and it's to the point where, okay, I understand why he did that. And then sometimes it come out, you really be like, okay, I know why he did that, but we should have known.
But I think that brings about a good point. So how do you, as an officer, deal with that? Because it's your home. You know all these people. You know them. So, Brown, I got, not me. Let me not, no jinx. But you know what I mean? So you know someone that says they put on, say, cheese, or they're, do people get aggressive about that? Do people come to you and say, why is this happening? You know, why was I on here? Why did homeboy get arrested or whatever? How do you handle those situations? Because I'm sure you get that sometimes.
You know, people do ask those questions. You know, when they get out, why was my picture on there? And I have to remind them or educate them, because a lot of people do not know. We have nothing to do with that. You know, we're not the ones putting your information out there like that. The only time we're going to put something out is if it's a critical incident or if it's something drastic that we need to notify the public on. But your mugshot and stuff, we're not the ones doing that. Huh?
It is public information.
Yeah,
It is. And so, yet people can easily go online and get it,
Yeah.
but we're not the ones. Listen, if I was to put out a picture for every single person we arrested, I wouldn't have time to do my real job. And that's not something that we do. I guess I need to address this question.
No, we'll comment back to you on that. Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna feed you back on that one, because I don't want to leave here, because I think it's very important that we talk about that. That just because you're from the community doesn't necessarily mean that you're involved in everything that happens in policing. You know?
No. I mean, I'm very involved within our department, but when it comes down to the entire criminal justice system that we have locally, no.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, even in saying that, because you were I'm saying our in District 3, in that area, South Side, Southeast Side, the park officer for a very long time. So how are you able to work within, you know what I mean, being the officer and being the pastor? How does that coincide together?
That
Because
was
I'm
fun.
sure.
As the park officer, that was fun.
Okay.
And the pastor, because my members were able to come to me with problems and I was able to get them resolved. People who did not know me, my members were able to relate to them that no, he's all right, talk to. A lot of people know me because of their children. When I worked at Longview High School for 7 years as an off-duty officer, in fact, the people who were freshmen when I was a senior, I was working there their senior year. And so a lot of people got to know me because if you're good with folks' kids, they'll love you all day long.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people got to know me there. It really wasn't a conflict for me, just because regardless of whether if I pastor here, live here, or whatever the case may be, I'm from here.
Right.
My community.
So you felt very comfortable still being out in the hood amongst the people.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, they had a block party one time at the intersection of Park and Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
Southside got together. They had turkey legs and all this good stuff. I was right there with them. As a matter of fact, I had me a turkey leg with dirty rice in the middle of it. It was better than turkey leg hut, if you ask me. But yet again, it has to do with building those relationships. I was only able to do that because I had relationship prior to that event.
So let's talk about relationships, because I think that's another thing that came up, during our conversation the other day.
It did.
That Winsley, brought up. There was some concerns for him. And I think, do you want to circle back around to that, or I can do that,
I made a comment on the last show, and I made it towards her. And that's the reason we up here now, because you said you want to come up here and clear up what I'm saying. Okay, you see how much pride you had when you said, hey, man, this is my community. I grew up here. My great-grandma had me everything. My grandma raised me, this, that, and other. And when I grew up, I had a comfort level with the police because that's who was over there, because my great-grandma, Miss Clara, was on the Citizen on Patrol squad or whatever. Okay. Everybody doesn't understand to the point of what you saying on that for is, okay, the pride you have, okay? So when you say that, I understand that because I watch you grow up. So I know where you're coming from. But like I was saying, I go to Turl, I go to Texarkana, I even go across the state line, and I see the kids over there policing, the younger kids between 20 and 30, they over there in other counties, they over there in other cities. And that's all I was saying is when we have people that go into law enforcement, why we can't have them in our community? And sometimes they over there in Spring Hill, sometimes they over there in Gladewater. But if I know you, like just like you grew up over there on Randall Street, you was patrolling Randall Street.
Yes,
you was over there.
Yes, sir.
That's what I want to see, and that's how this works, because you know everybody in the neighborhood.
So that's a great question. In our department, we operate off of seniority. So the longer you've been there, you get to pick where you work. We don't say, hey, you, since you're from here, you're going to work here, or you grew up there, so we're going to put you over there. You have certain folks that work here that grew up in certain areas. They don't want to work in the same area where they grew up. They prefer to work in another part of town. Let's take Officer Johnny Lyons, for example. A lot of people love Johnny Lyons. Johnny Lyons never wanted to work South Longview. He always worked Central. And that's not necessarily the best example because he's not from here, but we get to pick where we work, especially when it comes down to patrol. Every year we have a sign up, and based off of your seniority, you get to pick where you go.
I think it's important before you move forward with that, because in talking to the chief, he also added another, I think, very interesting point to that, was that some beats have different time schedules, different work schedules. Can you talk about that some more too? Because I think that's very important in thinking about where people pick, You know what I mean? When they start making their selections, because it might work for their family to have this.
That's also
Yeah,
You
the
know,
career.
I think it's important to bring that up.
For me, my last 2 years on patrol, I did not work South Longview.
And nobody knew it.
I worked the Pine Tree area, and I worked my last couple of weeks. I was in Spring Hill, and that's because I needed to have Saturday, Sundays off,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that's where those spots were. So that's where I went, because I wanted to have a schedule that was conducive to what I had going on outside of Longview PD. I mean, at that point in time, Tashawn got football games, and I'm following him every single Friday. I don't want to have to go to a football game, drive back to Longview late at night
Yeah.
on a Friday night, and then go to work the next morning. So I needed Saturdays, Sundays off. And Sundays, I've worked 3 Sundays as long as I've been at Longview PD. My faith is a really big part of who I am. And so to keep me sane, I needed my Sundays off.
And how did nobody know you weren't working that South? That was trickery. Okay, nobody knew you weren't over there the whole time. Okay, you working over here. But I think that's a good point. Does that answer kind of what you were thinking, Wednesday?
Well, I can agree with what he's saying on his end, but I'm trying.
I get the concept that you're wishing for.
Yeah, and this is what I'm gonna say, and I'm trying to have this conversation without stepping too far over the line. Okay, so
Well, step out and we'll bring you back if you go too far.
there
you go.
Now, Johnny Lyons, if we take this back to early 90s, a lot of people don't know. Because like you say, Johnny's really not from here. Okay, Johnny came in, and when Johnny came in, Johnny didn't come in a patrol car. Johnny came in when we still had the orange van. So I'm glad you brought his name up. And like I say, I tried, when I come on this platform, I try to give y'all everything I got still in up here factual. When Johnny came in on some, we're going to clean up the streets. We need you to go out there and make buys. We need you to do this. We need you to do that. And we're going to take care of you. But they didn't take care of him. So when you say Johnny didn't want to be over here, I can tell you for a fact it's the reason why Johnny didn't want to be over here, because when they still had the orange van, they still had the 9.8 with the gold swingers on it, which is Danny Butler, because Bill England hadn't even made it here yet. It was Danny Butler, Jackie, Money Gage, and I'm trying to think of the other dude's name. But anyway, they wasn't buying the dope. Your boy was chunked out there. And when they chunked him out there, they put him out there. And when they put him out there, they put him in a situation to where, like, the jacket's on, so we know what you're doing now.
So that kind of does explain why, in a similar sense, kind of doubly, why there would be maybe some desire not to particularly be in the neighborhood where you grew up. But at the same time, I see where you're saying that if you had more people that look like you or that were from there, they might understand, which is what you spoke to in the beginning. I do believe, though, again, like, we were talking about the other day, that the direction that the department is going in now is, again, the chief talked about having these out-of-car experiences, more of those. And I think that will really enhance what you're talking about. I think on the other side is, I know Duffy's, like, I think who was that said that? Alicia said Duffy, Duffy's still over there.
I'm glad you brought him up. And this is
the
why.
last 5 years, Duffy has not worked South Longview.
See what I'm saying? And no, trickery.
But that's what I'm saying.
I thought when he left Foster, he stayed right there. I had no idea.
Whatever I tell y'all on this podcast, y'all can go back and ask whoever. The reason I'm saying I want the people that grew up in my neighborhood over here, just true story. I can't even make none of this shit up.
Hold on. Alicia, Duffy not working the South Side no more. I'm very sorry. It hurt me too. Go ahead.
We on Fox Hill. We got a set of dogs fighting. We just got through fighting. We've been out there damn near 2 hours.
No, we hadn't been doing that. Keep going.
No.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. I'm going to show you the difference.
Yeah, show me.
I'm going to show you the difference in the people that grew up with you and the people you implant in her.
Yeah.
Because if it was a person that was implanted in her, I'll be telling a whole different story. I'm not saying I would have been telling a story we'd have been in jail, but I possibly would have been telling a story where we got the shit shot out of us. Okay, so
That's a big
we on
difference.
Fox Hill, we up on the dead end, we in the hole, and we up in the woods probably about 75 yards. The man don't call for bag up. He knew every car that was out there. He knew every car was out there, and he come back there, and he politely said, hey, man, I know y'all back here fucking with these dogs, man. Y'all got to take this shit somewhere else. This is what Duff tells us, right? He don't know the dogs is rolling. So once he gets a little closer where the action is, the only thing that man did is draw the gun. I say, hey, don't now when he got them dogs bite me, I'll shoot the shit out of him. But man, y'all got to get this shit together, man. Y'all got to do better. The point I'm saying is that wouldn't have happened that way if it was an implant. If it was an implant, there'd been some more people coming there, and you know yourself, it would have went wrong. The only reason it didn't get out of hand because he knew what was going on.
It takes relationship.
Let me ask you this though, Winslow. So, how much correcting do you do before you know what I'm saying, you apply the belt?
Because if
But
if they continue to,
the fact that he handled it like he handled it, we shut the shit down. Like we literally.
You understood the assignment. You understood.
Hey man, you can't get no realer than that because they could have went any other way.
went left.
So implement that in today's time. How do y'all go about troublemakers or situations at hand, you know what I'm saying, that y'all deal with out in the streets when you was patrolling? Let's just say you got a familiar face that you used to. Do you tighten up for you know what I'm saying, for we got it's consequences behind what you're doing, or you just go in with straight force?
Well, it takes relationship first and foremost in history. If I know you, I'm probably going to deal with you a little differently. If I don't know you, I'm probably going to deal with you a little differently. So I would say that it really takes a lot of relationship and history and knowing people. As Winslow's saying, when the people know the police, it makes things a lot more smoother. When the police know the people, it helps things go a whole lot smoother.
I just want to ask, it's kind of a two-parter. This goes to you too, Winsley. It's like, I know you're saying that if the people that are policing were from the community, nowadays, how many people are coming out of these communities that want to be police officers? I'm not from the area where I know a lot of people are coming out and want to be in law enforcement.
Okay, so let me be fair on this. I come up in an area. If he would have been in law enforcement in the late 80s, coming on up to the early 2000s, it was more drugs on the street than there's guns. Right now, there's more guns on the street
Way
than
more.
anything. So the best way for me to answer that question is this here. I know a bunch of kids now that's just like Pooh. They got their reasons on why they want to be a police. But I'm telling you, it's hard. This is hard. You know, I want to say something, but I'm not going to say too much. Well, listen what I'm going to tell you. The people that's coming out now that want to be police officers, I really think they coming out for the wrong reason. Really? And the reason I'm saying that is because where he came out to be a police officer because he just wants the neighborhood to be quiet and whatever, a lot of these people coming out because they want to throw out revenge on somebody that got shot or something. Hey, man, I'm just calling it.
So has that been your experience?
I'm going to tell you like this. It's like I say, this is sort of hard for me to say this, but we gonna call it fair. I watch everything. I pay attention to everything. So a couple of the people that's like at the county jail now, they finna put them in cars and make them patrol or whatever. A couple of people that's out now trying to be out of town to come back. Well, I'll be back in Longview in about another 2 years. Well, when you come back to Longview, you're gonna target a specific side of town. You're gonna target a particular group of people because maybe somebody got shot or somebody got handled or whatever the case may be.
But he's saying that when you come back, you don't get to choose necessarily the area.
Because of seniority.
You get to choose, that's
Based
a
on
seniority
seniority,
thing, right?
Right. But let me kind of respond a little bit.
You talking like Winslow now, so you know the conversation's a little shaky. I'm not trying to trap you. I'm not trying to.
No. I'm not taking it that way.
Okay.
I like to think while I'm talking.
Me too.
But when you do have a situation to where you feel a certain officer may be targeting something or targeting a group of people or coming after a certain area or on a revenge tour, that's why we have a complaint system. You know, I am quick to remind people that you can complain on an officer. And with this administration, they're going to actually see, they're actually going to investigate it. And because we don't want those type of problems with our agency.
But do you think there's enough trust in the community to have the public come to y'all to complain like, hey, such and such and such is doing this? And do you think they will actually be like, oh, okay, we're going to get on there? Or like, yeah, we hear you, on to the next.
So, and that's dealing with HR with me, you know what I'm saying, with jobs. A lot of people complain to HR. HR is buddy with the union. So how do the people look at y'all and say that it's not a buddy system as far as the complaint system? You know, you might come in, you might pull your heart out, but most people might feel like it gets nowhere because they look at it as, I mean, it's on the board and we laugh about it.
Mm.
Well, I can assure you at our agency, it's not like that. What I will say is if you do file a complaint on an officer, make sure you tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It is true. A lot of people do exaggerate their story when they come in and tell it.
they do. People get on their keyboards and they want to talk about, you know, F Longview PD because of
Such
1,
and such
2,
and
3.
such. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you file that complaint, we're going to look into it. Our internal affairs sergeant, he's going to look into it. That's what he gets paid to do. But there are sometimes what irritates me is I'll see folks say certain things on social media, but I know it's a lie.
I want to ask you about that.
I can't say nothing. But they'll get on here all day long and talk about, you know, Longview PD did this or a certain officer did that, but it's not true. Let's take, for example, something that I thought would have came up a whole lot quicker than now. You know, hey, police officer followed me here in Longview and followed me for a long time. Well, guess what? We have in-car video. We have GPSs on our cars, so we can go back and look at this type of stuff. A lot of times, it's not true.
Is there a way to track your complaint once you file your complaint? Is there a way to
That's a
track
good
it?
Contact. That's a great question. Thank you. You can contact the internal affairs to follow up with it. I mean, and we try to make it as easy as possible to where you can file it online. You can come up there in person. You can do it over the phone.
But we can't personally track it. We have to ask y'all
Correct.
what's going on. Okay. See, but that again, that ties back to how do we know that we can trust the process? Because I've had great experiences with police, and I've also had 2 undercovers and 4 sheriffs pull me over, put me down on the ground, strip me down on my drawers, guns pointed at me, throw the fucking keys out the window. I've had bad experiences with them.
Sweet Jesus.
So,
Was it Prescott?
nah, this is in North Carolina.
That's it.
But
I'm going
no, but I'm saying I understand since you're in the system, it's easy. Not I won't say easy, like you know that's an easy job, but and I don't even want to say. Of course, you're gonna say not your department, but with me not knowing you, like I said, I've seen you and I believe you. You were at my wife's grandfather's funeral, and you seem like a trustworthy man. But with me not knowing you, how do I know that I can trust you to be like, hey, Officer Brown, this happened to me. This is my complaint. How can I follow up with that and trust that you're going to be like, I'm going to take this serious and we're going to get down to the bottom of this and figure it out?
You're not going to like my answer.
I need it though.
I'm going to take care of that. I got
But
you.
we have to trust the process when it comes down to it. I can assure people I wouldn't work for this administration if I didn't think that they didn't hold people accountable.
I like that.
Yet again, this is my community, my city, my home. I don't want our officers mistreating our citizens in any way. Because at the end of the day, as the PIO, as the public information officer, who has to answer for it anyway?
Okay.
It's typically going to be me. And so that's the reason why I do constantly remind people that if you do feel like you're being mistreated, now, people have to understand, is it legal? Is it within policy? Is it ethical? You know, if our officer did what was right and fell within policy and fell within the law, then yeah, they're going to be good. But if they operated outside of those things, then yeah, we're going to take care of business.
What is the rule? And I do want to get to this because Corey Moe said Ladarian ain't lying. If he know you, he gonna work with you and try to get the best out of the situation. He grew up with you. And then Michael said that's how they were treated Saturday night, and I think above he said about some author or something like that. Like you were saying, when you, of course, y'all have tracking, y'all have cameras, y'all have all of those things. What is the rule of law on you holding your camera up when you are stopped or when you're speaking with a police officer?
Hey, record whatever you want to.
I just didn't know. You know, I've heard
We're
some
recording,
people
so
say
feel free.
that, you know, they've been told to put the phone down. So you're
They
free to
gonna
record.
Now, yes, if
They gonna
we
tell
are
you
in
to
the
stop
middle
recording.
of trying to apprehend you, if we're trying to arrest you or something like that, then yeah, you do have to put the phone down because we can't have nothing in your hand at that
Yeah.
point in time.
But
No,
just
I'm
in your
talking about
traffic
when
stop.
you first stop, ask for the ID. They done told me to cut because you don't mind. You stop recording.
You can record. Nobody said that you can't.
Sure, right.
Can you say that? Can you say it's my right to record? I'm asking. Is that something you can say?
So I'm glad we're on the
That
topic
freedom
of
of the press.
transitioning to traffic stops.
Mhm.
We finna transition to something.
I've taught law enforcement. Every senior in the state of Texas has to go through an interaction with law enforcement class
Right.
before they can graduate. And at Longview High School, I'm the one that taught that for years. And one of the biggest things that I try to teach people when it comes down to traffic stops, cooperate. Cooperate.
What does that look like?
Simple. Driver license, insurance. You already know they're going to ask for that. If you're in other states, they might ask for driver's license, insurance, and registration.
Can you read it on my license tag? I have to know that.
Can I read
The
what?
people say that
Your
you know if
registration
they
and all
have
that?
registration and stuff by looking at the license plate. Is that true?
You can sometimes.
Okay.
Everybody's stuff don't pop up the right way.
Okay, because there was always a thing whenever I, was stopped, and I'm like, you should have.
You already know this, yeah.
And I will also tell folks when it comes down to your insurance, make sure you always have it on you.
On
Because
the phone or the card.
either or.
Okay.
Because I've ran my own license plate and learned that it showed unconfirmed, and God knows I have insurance. So you always want to have that on you. But you already know they're going to ask for your driver's license and insurance. Have it ready. Sometimes, folks want to jump straight to what the heck are you pulling me over for? And that's a fair question. Let that officer do his spiel. I'm Officer Brown with the Long Police Department. Need to see your driving license, proof of insurance. The reason why I pulled you over today is because you were speeding. Let them get their spiel out.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you what they pulled you over for. But if I walk up to the car and the first thing is you start cussing me and going off on me, at the end of the day, folks, you got to remember, we're just doing our job.
Okay, well, I got a question about that too then. I ain't trying to go off
Somebody
topic
would.
and stuff. So I got pulled over not too long ago over there on Birdsong and over by Birdsong.
Welcome to D3.
And it's over there on Green and Birdsong, right where that dip is, them stop signs that
Yes,
okay, so
come on, D3.
you know you gotta stop at that stop sign or you're gonna tear your car up on that dip. I stopped.
Must be Birdsong and Green.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Birdsong and Green. So I had to stop. I went over that hump. You know, you gotta slow down again before you hit that next hump. Right after I get out that second hump, about to go past where Super One is, I see lights behind me. I'm thinking he's somebody else. I get out his way, he come behind me. What I'm getting pulled over for? Coming to my window, he's like, license registration. I'm like, sure. As I'm handing it to him, he's like, ma'am, can I get yours too? My wife is in the passenger seat. We was about to head out of town somewhere. I'm like, you don't need her stuff. She's not driving. She has nothing to do with this traffic incident. You know what's going on. So I let him give his spiel, and he's like, yeah, I'm pulling you over because you didn't come to a complete stop. After he gave his stuff, he was like, so now I'm going to need your license. I'm like, you don't need my wife's stuff. So it kind of escalated. And then, my wife calmed me down or whatever, and I gave him my stuff, and she's handing him her stuff, and I'm just backing her off. I'm like, you don't have to do this. The cop takes my stuff back to the back. I'm still going off or whatever. When he comes back to the window, I'm calmed down by the end. And I'm like, all right, look, I shouldn't have handled it this way, but I need to know why you were trying to ask my wife for her stuff. And he couldn't give me a fair answer. Why is it okay for an officer to try to get into anybody else's business in the car that has nothing to do with that traffic stop? Is that lawful?
We can identify anybody in the vehicle.
Do we have to identify to you, though? So that it was escalating to the point where I was gonna get pulled out of the car if my wife didn't de-escalate for me. But I feel like it would never got to that measure if he wasn't trying to pull out information that he didn't need.
But go back to that because you said y'all have the right to identify
Yeah.
We can
anybody
ask
in the car.
We can casually have a conversation with anybody.
Okay.
That don't mean you got to give me anything.
But see, that's kind of leading. That makes us feel like you have, okay, we understand that you have the right, but it kind of gets into the mindset of
Now,
there's power.
Let me put a caveat with this, because I don't want nobody to take that small part of run with
Mm-hmm.
it. Unless that we are having to do an investigation or something of that nature. But just a simple,
It was just a traffic stop saying I ran a stop
didn't know.
sign.
Yeah, because what Keith's saying is, if I have a different type of attitude in the situation,
It was back
that's
to the
going to
left.
determine where I'm. You know what I'm saying, where the situation going to go.
Where it's going to end up.
I mean,
But let me ask y'all this though, honestly. At the end of the day, as my high school principal used to say, when the dust settles, I'm just doing my job.
yeah, most definitely. But what I'm saying is,
so you coming at me with the hostility and
Mhm.
the
That's what
frustration.
that's for.
I don't know what type of day you've had.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my case, I don't know who I pull over till I get to the car.
Yeah,
You know,
most definitely.
Good.
Which in itself is scary and dangerous in your mind at the time you don't know. You
Can
don't
be.
know
But
what's
we don't know
going
the
on.
cop either. That's
No,
scary
I
and
agree.
dangerous for us,
I've had
in
it
my
on
opinion.
both ends. That's what I'm saying. I think it's scary and dangerous on both sides, and I don't think people are thinking about that in the moment. You know what I mean?
Well, James Bradley got a question, and I'm glad we got you here because that's one of the biggest.
had that.
That's one of the biggest plays out here right now. I smell marijuana, and I know half the people that they say they smell marijuana on don't fool with marijuana at all
But they still get the search.
because you don't have a camera, you don't have nothing to say if they lying or not, if they smell it or not.
How does that work? Like, how can
How
y'all just
does
say
that
I
work?
smell something and I'm gonna check your car?
Hey, the courts, the law has clearly made that argument on, if an officer believes that they smell marijuana, then that gives us the right to search the vehicle.
Can I say I smell alcohol in your breath and deny it?
Say what?
Can I? If you say if I believe that you're falsely claiming that you smell marijuana in my car, can I be like I smell alcohol on your breath
officer?
and be like, no, I don't. I'm not with this.
I mean, you can, if they say that they got the PC to the proper cause to search the vehicle and you deny it, I mean, there are other steps that can be taken to still.
So let's just kind of walk through that just real quick, just so we can clear that up for everybody. If an officer comes to your car, pulls you over and says, I smell weed, just tell us what, you being the officer, what would you like to see happen? What do we need to do? You know, that I just think it's helpful to have that
Cooperate.
information. Yeah.
Cooperate with the search. Nothing's found.
But you
go
But
on.
that's-
automatically getting a search based on the lies.
Yeah, that's
especially because
not
I know
cool,
people
man.
don't fool with weed at all.
And
And that's how they get in the vehicle.
and that's a fair argument. That's where you make the complaint on you feel like you were unlawfully searched and or you were unjustifiably searched and let them investigate that.
This
Because
is-
let me tell
Let
you
it
something.
play out.
If an officer lies about the smell of marijuana on your car, you think that you're gonna be the first person that they've done that to?
No,
So if you turn that complaint in, that gives us an opportunity to investigate, watch patterns, things of that nature, and we are able to get down to the bottom of it.
You told us as a community that we need to trust the process, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We've been trusting the process.
With the complaint process.
Okay, with the process of y'all trying to get us settled down and calm down in crime. We've been trusting the process. We was trusting the process when Miss Clara, my aunt, and some old people was jumping on the church bus and was pulling up to the trap saying, howdy ho, all y'all selling dope gotta go. Hold down. We've been trusting the process. We trusted the process when y'all started in 95 and y'all came in here and got 30 people on
rounded
two different-
everybody up.
Yeah, on two different. It was the block party, and it was the Blues Brothers. They come back 2 years later and did it again. It started 95, 97, 90. Everybody that's out there listening now, they can go check. 95, 97, come back again 99, 2001, 2003,
Every 2
2005, every 2 years. And you did this all the way up until 2011, but the only thing you did while we was trusting the process on that, you didn't fix anything.
But Winslow, think about it. You're talking about the late 90s. Police department, police officers, we are an extension of the executive branch of government. You got the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. The legislative makes the laws. The executive branch, we enforce the laws that the legislative writes. Who was president of the United States in the 90s?
George W. Bill Clinton.
Bush,
Bill
Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Clinton.
Bush hit
president
2000 through 08.
in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
3 strikes,
Out
you're
of
out.
there.
War on drugs, all that good stuff. The stuff that you're complaining about, I was not there. I mean, I was a kid, but based off of what I know about history, a lot of drug laws were written during the 90s
And just
Definitely
getting
was.
cleaned up.
as a result of some of the stuff that happened during the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Those officers that you're talking about, yeah, they were doing that stuff solely because of the laws that was enacted by Congress and by the executive branch of government.
That's true though.
So we don't write the laws.
But you the law now. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Right
Yes,
now,
sir.
right now, this is what I'm getting at. I see more people get harassed behind marijuana misdemeanors, and man, we got bodies laying around here. Ain't nobody trying to solve.
Well, you say that they're getting harassed about marijuana and things of that nature. It's still illegal.
That's
Okay.
not. That's
So
not.
hang
That's,
on,
that's
hang on.
not my point.
It's
my,
still
my
illegal.
point
so
is,
they still have to
I
enforce those
know
laws.
if you pull over the right person, he's going to tell you, okay, this dude over here got pills. This dude over here got this. This dude over here got. I know. If y'all hearing where all these spots at, y'all hearing what y'all need to hear about these murders.
But are they hearing where all this is? I think that might be the disconnect because they might
They
not be
got
getting.
Prescott. Hey,
But they
there's-
might not be
there's
getting
no-
all the information.
I'm finna tell you. This is what I'm finna tell you.
Okay.
I come up under the old law. We had a motherfucker named Roy Bean. He bust your ass. He take your ass down there across that goddamn, like the closest county line he could get to. Whether it be Smith County on the Gladewater side or Upshur County on the Gladewater side. And he's supposed to be over here at the Waterbury on the spur. This motherfucker take you over there and break your arm, beat your ass.
Well, we don't want none of that going on no more.
But what I'm getting at is this here. The shit they got going on now with like the Prescott situation, he's not that good. He's that good because he got informants. He's that good because he got motherfuckers telling him, okay, this, that, and the third. If you got them doing that for you, get them to get these goddamn bodies up. Nobody, like...
Well, I don't want to talk about specific officers if we can help it. I would prefer not to do that.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to homicides and stuff like that, people often say we're not doing our jobs with investigations and stuff like that. I have to have evidence. I have to have enough to get a judge to sign a warrant for me to arrest someone.
Not just word of
For
mouth.
anything. Word of mouth don't always work. And one of the issues that we have is people have a tendency to not want to say anything. And that's the type of environment that we have to get rid of, that we have to keep in mind that, you know, if you do witness someone's life being taken, regardless of which side of the city you're from, if you see something along those lines and you refuse to say something, then shame on you. But you cannot expect for us, we're not there. We don't see it. All we can do is investigate it. And if nobody will give us anything, we have nothing to operate on.
And who are they needing to tell and where they need to go? Because I see Maisha saying that they tell people, but no one. Who do we need to tell? What call do you make? You know, is it Crime Stoppers? Is it the non-emergency line?
You can contact Crime Stoppers. You can contact the non-emergency line. If you have if you know who the specific detective is on the case, you can reach out to that detective. If you feel like that detective isn't really getting done or, what you need, they have a supervisor, they have a division commander, they have a bureau chief who you can talk to. And on top of all of that, yet again, I heard or someone said
It's not fair.
it's not something
it's
I can
not
take to a
okay.
judge to get done or get the justice all the time that you're looking for.
So, can I ask you this? So, what are the stipulations of a murder? How easy or how hard is it to get away with murder? Because most people get confused because they know something and they tell something that the crime should be solved or be, handled in a sense of them coming to tell you what they know, and they don't understand that with murder, I mean, a lot of things come with facts. You got to have a lot of solid evidence to convict somebody or actually arrest somebody. So a lot of people get mad at the police department because they feel like they're not doing something or they're not involved or they're not taking care of the situation how they supposed to. But they don't understand the things that you got to actually apply to the situation to get a conviction or get an arrest. Can you go into detail of what people?
Well, I've never been a homicide detective,
Okay.
so I really don't want to give out bad information.
Yeah, you don't want to go into information that you.
But I will say that if people cooperate with our detectives, if people cooperate with our investigators, then hey, they will be able to follow those leads, follow those trails, and if it gets them the evidence that they need in order to get the district attorney's office what they need to prosecute the case, to get that conviction, to bring that to justice, then I can assure you that's what they're going to do. About the
Homicides.
I don't know. I'll check.
I think it's very important to circle back to what you talked about, and Wednesday talks about this a lot too. We have to get back to neighborhood policing, which I think is very important, and it's something that I push wholeheartedly in our district. We have to get back to knowing your neighbors and being able to be responsible for the people in your community. So for those of you who are out there watching, community and neighborhood policing is important. It's our neighborhood. It's our responsibility to tell the officers what's going on. It's our responsibility to call people out, you know what I mean? And make sure that we are keeping things safe. Especially, I see people, James, we see what you're saying. We kind of addressed that earlier about officers being able to choose where they are. And if you have an issue with racism, if somebody not treating you right, say something.
Yes.
Say something. It is up to you to say something and to stay on that. If something happened to you, it's your responsibility to say something and then stay on them and make people be accountable for how they treated you, which is basically what you're saying, right?
And
the system wants to do that.
Two things you said there. If you're being mistreated, hey, go on to Facebook, Instagram, go on a Snapchat rant.
That ain't going to do it.
That does not work. That is not filing a complaint. That's just letting the whole world know that you're pissed off about a certain situation. Mm-hmm. So you have to file a formal complaint. That's one. Two, community policing. That is something that we as a department have to work on. That is something that the chief has openly said that we're going to have to improve the out-of-car experience to where the citizens know the officers and the officers know the citizens. So I'll even sit here tonight and say that is something that we're actively working on.
What do you feel like your first step is to that?
Well, great question. The first step is simply getting them out the car to talk to people. Being a community relation officer, as long as I was taking care of beats 50 and 60 in South Longview, it was my job to handle crime watch groups. It was my job to handle community meetings and things of that nature. Not one time in the many years that I was doing that did people say we want to see less police. Not one time. They want to see us, but they want to know us too. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why we are pushing that. That is something that we're pushing. That is something that is going to have to become a part of our culture as a police department. Is community policing. That is not just our par officers, but it's all of us. That has to be, our mantra at the police department is to provide professional policing. And that is a concept that we've pushed, and we're pushing the community policing as well.
I wanted to ask something that you stated earlier when you were talking about y'all's group, or I don't want to say your group, but your office, your other officers. You say y'all are a data-driven police department. Are we talking about AI? Are y'all implementing AI into y'all's investigations and things of that nature to try to help you get crime down? Or is it telling you to put these cops in these specific areas because this is mostly where people speed or where people do burglaries, this, that, and the third?
Well, honestly, we don't need AI for it, believe it or not. Take traffic stops, for example. Most of the traffic stops sit with the Long Beach Police Department happen on Loop.
Okay, yeah.
Contrary to what people may think.
Traffic heavy, seems like.
Most of the traffic stops do not take place in South Longview. They happen on the Loop, more specifically, Loop and Gilmer. Why? Because for years, we've had a lot of our major accidents that took place right there. So the traffic enforcement enhancement typically goes around areas where we mostly have a lot of crashes or crime activity. That's kind of what leads that. And we watch those numbers monthly. We watch them yearly because in the winter, we could have one area that historically has typically had more accidents, and in the summer, we have another area.
Yeah.
And so we kind of direct resources based off of that. So I'm not going to necessarily say that we use AI for it. We use actual human beings that look at these numbers.
Okay.
Well, because I know during our community meetings, we talked about safety being a bigger issue. And I know now that after my meeting with Chief Boone, I found out that y'all have upped, the staff, and you're finally where you need to be with staff, which I think is very good. Because when I first moved here, I remember not seeing police a lot. Now I feel like I see them every other mile. Okay, so yeah. But is it heavier in areas where crime is a real issue? Do you have a heavier presence there, or do you still feel like y'all are pretty spread out across the city?
Wherever we have an issue, that's where we're going to direct our resources.
So we do have. That's why we see more policing over on our. No.
And I'm telling you, the numbers don't confirm that.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why people in South Longview think that they see more police officers because we have more of a grid system.
Yeah.
In South Longview, it's the oldest part of town. That's the reason why our streets are simple, north and south, east and west.
Right.
Whereas in the northern part of town, it's a little bit more wide open.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see or think you see more in South Longview than you do up north because it is more concentrated, like you said.
Yeah.
But we like to see it. I really don't see a lot of people up north.
I think, we like to see it. I tell people, I feel very safe in my neighborhood. I do. I feel very safe. I have left my credit things, but I think it's good to see them over there. But like you said, it's very good to have those relationships to be able, just like people call out Duffy all the time because he, people know him and he everywhere. So I think it's very good to have those things, especially where we have issues where people believe that there is a larger safety issue that maybe the data doesn't drive.
One of my deacons, he lives on Birdsong, and he asks me every couple of weeks, do we got something bad going on Birdsong? And I'm like, why you ask that? He's like, because I'm always seeing the police.
Yeah, they be out there. They be out there.
And, just because you see a police car doesn't necessarily mean it's a patrol officer.
But we need to change the perspective on that.
You take Birdsong, for example. The SRO for Foster Middle School goes up and down Birdsong going to and from work.
All the time.
You take Officer Johnson, who's the PAR officer. He's riding up and down Birdsong because his office is on Birdsong. You take our traffic division. You take our... we have multiple units that drive marked units. So even though you may think that you're only seeing patrol officers, you're seeing a lot of specialized units as well.
See, and I think people don't know that too, but as we start to bring things kind of together, what do you say to people like Winsley, who've been in this community for a long time, who've had different experiences, who want to see some things change? What is it that, they could be doing? What would help change your perspective, Winsley? What do you think would make things get better? And from the perspective of an officer who knows somebody like this,
like how could y'all work together?
How can y'all collaborate and make that thing happen? Very good.
You want to go first?
Ain't nothing off limits, Winsley.
We can go back and forth. All I'm saying is, from the transition to when I first jumped off the porch to now, I really ain't really too cool with what's going on because I know how hard y'all was pressing me. I know how, not you, but I know how previously, that's why I don't do the controlled substance shit no more. I know how hard y'all was pressing me, but then I look, it's funny, but it's not. Then I look and I see slot machines at the corner store.
A lot
I
of
see
them.
marijuana at the corner store.
A lot of it.
I see, like, this is before they even, when this was still smoke shop. They were selling pre-rolled joints at the corner stores.
Sure was.
It was all under the flag of Delta this, and from Delta to CBD, and from CBD to THC
A and
all
P
this
and
bullshit.
yeah.
The thing I'm saying is, like you said now, it's still illegal. It's still illegal, is what you said. I'm not knocking nobody that has a shop, but we talking about the corner store where the kids going there and getting candy, and there's a gummy right there. It's not behind the glass, it's right there. So if we gonna trust the system, we do need the system to work for everybody, because it seems to us these people are getting away with way more than y'all will allow us to get through it, and we trying to half-ass be discreet about it. And they wide open come in here and get it.
So when it comes down to that
That's a good
situation, fair argument,
one.
but
It really is.
there's a legislative argument going on
Yeah.
So it's politics.
about those very things.
It is.
And
taking
that's what I'm
place.
getting at. That's what I'm getting at. They shut them down. So you come in there, you get the slot machines out of there, and you slap them on the hand. Don't do that.
But then they come right back.
We talked to Chief Boone about that, and I just want to bring that back around so he can get back to it. There's legislative things. They're able to have the slot machines because they use tokens and things like that. So there are ways to get around not really doing trade and money that they are able.
Kiosks on the wall. They just cash it
And
out.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I really do.
But the law protects
yes.
them in different ways.
We are still waiting for Austin
to get
to
it right.
tell us, hey, you can go enforce this.
Mhm.
So our hands are tied when it comes down to the machines that you're talking about. But to Ms. Cooper's question about how can we work together, moments like this, having dialogue, having conversations. I think that a lot of the issues that we possibly have or that people think we have has a whole lot to do with the lack of conversation.
I agree.
You know, coming on this show was not something that I was just
On your radar.
let me go.
Yeah.
We
do.
were though in the
But-
elevator today. Yeah,
But at the same time, I feel like this is a necessity for the sake of our community.
But how do you have more interactions like this without a podcast? How do you have this interaction with the community without setting up okay, we're gonna be here at this time, this day? Like, hey, me and my community need to come talk to y'all, and we got to wait 2 months to have that interaction with y'all. Like, we got problems
Hey,
now.
man, that's what we have PAR officers for. They do meetings and community meetings all the time. Just got to reach out and say, hey, we want to sit down and have a conversation. And here are the topics we want to talk about.
I still think that's difficult because that part area is big.
Yes and no. We still have a job to do,
Yeah.
and they're expected to do the job. So they can handle it. But I just really feel that a lot of it has to do with us having those conversations. Even building relationship. You may build a relationship with a certain police officer. You know, as the PAR officer, when I transitioned to PIO, there were people that was literally crying in South Longview that I was leaving. Kind of made Officer Johnson a little uncomfortable because he like, what the heck am I going to walk into?
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not going to be him. So how do I do that? But that's because of relationships.
Yeah.
You know, having those conversations, even the difficult conversations. I think I'm a big boy. I'm okay with having those difficult conversations.
They need to be had.
Because at the end of the day, I'm a human being just like you.
Agreed.
You know, I'm a man just like y'all. I'm a human being just like y'all. And so once we start viewing each other as that, I think that helps drastically. Drastically when it comes down to, you know, how we operate and you know, how y'all want us to operate.
But do y'all have internal meetings like that? Like how you just said, because I feel that 100%. I felt that my entire life. No matter what your job is, I don't care if you my boss, I don't care if you my sister, whatever conflicts we got, at the end of the day, I'm a human, you a human. do y'all have that inner dialect or inner dialogue with one another? Like, hey, when we out here patrolling, yeah, you might think you might be scared going up to this vehicle, or they might be scared of you. Y'all never know what's gonna happen with each other. Y'all gotta approach this like another human being. Like you said, you don't know if they having a bad day, if I had a bad day. Are y'all having that internally, or is that just something that you're saying? I mean, like I said, I'm not knocking you for nothing that you said. Is that something that you're just saying like, hey, I'm a human just like you are, but are you saying that with your comrades as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's
that is a conversation that I personally get to have with every trainee that we have coming through. We are constantly we're constantly teaching the ones that are coming in, and constantly reminding those that's already here of that same concept. So,
and
yes,
how to identify those neighborhood partners, I'm sure, right? That's the first thing you're trying to teach them is how to identify. These are going to be your good neighborhood leaders. These are going to
not
be
necessarily. I feel that that's kind of one of the things that we are going to be doing. We're trying to build that community policing concept within our department and within our city, is teaching these folks how to have the conversations with certain folks.
Right, because you might have a random police officer out, on Rollins or whatever, and something going on. They would need to know, I got to call Wednesday help this neighborhood. You can call these people. I think what you're saying is we need to identify more of them people. Is that right?
We do, because this is another thing that was hurting me. I get home. I've been home for about 15 and a half years. I've been home. Okay. It used to bother me because when I got to the house, my two oldest daughters, they're in high school. Dad, when you see the keys here, take the key, tray your ass. It would bother me that they would get pulled over, whether they're in my car, my mama's car, whatever. But then they from Rollins. But then you got somebody walking up the street, soles and shit all on their legs, selling ass, and I'm not trying to be funny. We know they come out from 80 when they tore the hotels down, everybody ran over to the Essex Parkway. So I never could relate to that because it's like, why are you bothering these people and harassing them and they stay over here? So I guess what I'm asking you is this, sir. Is the full time you've been in law enforcement now, do you think the relationships got better, the police department got better, and the way they handle stuff, or do you think they started making it worse?
No, I think it has gotten better. I really do. Sometimes we think that things are a lot worse than what they really are. I personally feel that our community and the police department have a great relationship. I just think it's a whole lot better than what people assume. I feel that we have worked in many areas to keep that relationship. I mean, if you go to other cities,
but
it's nothing like it is.
But
here.
you do know what I'm saying, because like I've had this conversation with other officers, because what was bothering me before they started cutting those lots and fields over there in Rollins, I used to literally witness people from Wildwood or out there on the ridge. They'll come over there with pizza boxes, donuts from early in the morning, and they would pull up right there at that Taco Bell and blow the horn, bum, bum, bum. And then all these homeless people coming from the graveyard from out there at Perry Clay and get these free donuts and little cups of coffees and stuff. Like, they wanted to make it seem like it was a problem over here before they built the racetrack or the other gas station.
Quick Trip.
Yeah, and the little hotel. They needed those homeless people to keep the value of the neighborhood down.
I think, again, in what has been happening is there has been a transition and a really good change. I see what you mean in terms of saying, the value of the neighborhood being kept down with the people at that time. But I do see that the neighborhood is changing. And again, it's up to us to be able to make those changes and make them stick, especially people like you who see the neighborhood transitioning over time. And I think as we bring this to a close, it just comes back to what you're saying. It's all of our responsibility to take care of our community. If you see something and it's whatever it is, it's your responsibility to call Brown, call whoever it is and say this is what's happening. And then Brown, it's your responsibility and the officer's responsibility to be accountable to us back. And I think that is even after the meeting today, I do believe that is the course that they trying to take. I think it takes time. I think it's going to take, the LPD putting that image back out saying, look, we are doing this, and for us with that connectivity, going to find out and seeing where they're doing these things and just having that, you got to build a relationship. Everybody doesn't have this relationship that you all have. And even despite where you came from and what you've done and, the different paths that y'all gone, you still found a common denominator to be able to have some conversation on. And I think it's important that we are having these conversations because now people know from your mouth that we don't have the crime in Southeast Longview that people thought we had,
We don't have the crime in Longview that people think.
In Longview, but I think those are things you coming here having that conversation allows people to know that real time, because I think people might hear it but they don't necessarily believe it, and that's again where this really does resonate, because this brings that trust factor back across. You don't believe it? I believe it.
I believe listen, I believe the books are doctored. I believe that
I can tell you.
Well, they can count the data, the stops and stuff.
That's what I'm trying to say this correctly, because I love Pooh, and I don't want to put him in a situation where he go to work tomorrow and be like, "Hey, man, you could have contained that."
Yeah.
I think you tell what you feel, and then he can,
And sometimes they get twisted though.
Well, it gets twisted, and that's what I'm saying, Flip. Because what Officer Brown is saying is crime ain't as bad as we think it is.
It's not.
Man, this motherfuckers crying right now because their kids missing. This motherfuckers crying right now because they got to keep their kids out of town because their kids can't come back in.
But when you say crime being high in those situations, that can still be happening, and crime can still be coming down.
And that's what I was going to say. When Wednesday said that he thinks that the books are being doctored, they're not being doctored on our end. And let me how I say that. Why do I say it that way? If you call the police, it's documented automatically.
And then they're going to send you the survey.
If people do not let us know what's going on, we can't investigate.
Because I've done a lot of those surveys.
We got to know what's going on.
So, okay, a crime happens. And, I mean, the people know about the crime happening. But let's just say LPD community or the news community, they don't post it for another 2 weeks. But we know that the crime is being the crime is happening, or it's a situation where we don't hear about it at all.
Let me help you out.
Go ahead.
Don't shoot the shit out of Den.
Okay.
They're gonna blow it out of proportion. Okay. And I'm not trying to put, and I need their money. I need the donation money. But I know for a fact, one of them Peter boys come flying down goddamn High Street.
X the names. I got you. I'm here with you, but just tap the names.
Come down High Street, hit a man. We all agree with this. We all here. We all four here. Hit a man, knocked him on the railroad track, kept going. The girl that was in the car with him that particular morning panicked. Hey man, let me out this car. He lit her out. Girl go home. Mama say, what's wrong with you? She tell the mama, hey, I think we just killed a guy. Okay? We ain't never talked about that. It never hit the news. Nothing. And it's a bunch of incidents like that because it boils down to what we said earlier about I'm going to pay the $100 to keep me out of there.
But
that's one of those incidents.
But that's just even deeper. Like I said, I pay attention to a lot of things, man. And in certain situations.
For the record, I have no idea what he's talking about.
I'm going to simplify.
He just told me to kill the name.
So, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The name got out, but it just.
But I'm going to simplify, though. So, let's just say a crime happened. We're going to say a shooting or XYZ. If the suspect is not arrested that night, we don't hear about the murder on basically, you know what I'm saying, TV or anything in that nature. But if y'all get a conviction, you know what I'm saying, somebody actually turns themselves in or y'all catch a suspect, we'll hear about the crime or the murder that day or the next day after. But if somebody is not in a situation of them being as I'm trying to figure out how to put it, as I don't want to say held as captive, but I mean, if they're not in a situation where they're being questioned or y'all have a suspect at hand, the viewing or the questioning about it never exists. until it's actually a conviction.
Well, Flip, that's actually my office that do that.
Okay, come on.
So y'all play dominoes or cards or anything?
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever show your hand?
Masterologist.
That's what I was, okay.
Masterologist on the dominoes. If that's a word, you know.
Do you ever show your hands when you're playing the game?
Now, I respect that
Mhm.
100%. I respect that 100%.
I have to give our investigators time to do their job.
Yes, sir. I respect that 100%. I know exactly what you mean, and I always think in that narrative, I feel like y'all hiding your hand until everything is, you know what I'm saying, laid out and put out. But you also have sometimes where Shreveport or if somebody else expose the situation that y'all got at hand. I understand y'all trying to keep it on the wraps and solve the case and then put it all out in the forefront, but you will have somebody else town that expose what happened down here, and we hear about it there first, then we hear about it here.
I can't control what happens with word of mouth. I can't. I can't dictate how other departments operate.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't want to expose your hand too much.
No,
how
you're
y'all
good.
do crime.
I just typically make it my mission to allow our detectives to do their job.
Most definitely. So, I guess what I'm saying is, so basically, y'all make sure that y'all do y'all homework 100%, and then when y'all produce the crime, when y'all produce the incident, y'all make sure y'all have all y'all facts so y'all can try to, you know what I'm saying?
Well, before I put anything out, I definitely want to make sure I have all my facts.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, yet again, I live here.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know I'm the public information officer, and I'm not going to do anything to make myself look like a fool. And so I'm not going to put anything out that I'm going to have to roll back later on. So I like to make sure that I'm confident in what I'm putting out and that I'm comfortable.
Yeah, and I respect
what I'm putting out.
Do we have a high number? So, and I'm just asking this really because you talking about murders and crimes and stuff. Do we? And I know when I think about historically, it used to be considered kind of baby Houston-y, but like you said, crime has come down. Is that another part of crime that's come down, the murder rate and things like that too?
Absolutely.
So how much you say crime done came down?
I don't know the exact numbers right offhand.
Is it satisfactory to you?
At the trajectory that we're going, yes, because it's better. I say that loosely, though, because in a utopian society, we would have no crime.
Right.
In a perfect world, I wouldn't have a single homicide ever, or anything of that nature. So I'm not going to say that it's perfect, but it is better. And this is the best it's been in a very long time, even before I even started working.
And when you think about high crime, is it more, is it murders, number one? Is it drugs?
For example, I told you I started here in 13. What was it? 15, 16, and 17? 3 years in a row, we had double-digit homicides. We don't have that type of stuff going on. And so to me, from a person who's worked those type of scenes, who's had to deal with that type of stuff, it has improved drastically.
And I want to get caught up. We're crunching on time, but I want to ask you this. It's kind of off subject, but we still relate to the situation. You or any other officer rolling up to a scene, it's a homicide, something that just silenced the nights, you know what I'm saying? Crickets, and you kind of feel it in the air. What is that like walking up to the scene? Let me ask you this: somebody that you would know from the neighborhood,
and that's a good question. It's a hard question to answer
because I know you got to still do your job.
A certain situation every time that question's asked. I've had to work scenes with classmates, people I went to school with, people who I had to work the scene and then turn around and do the funeral that following Saturday.
That's a deep one right there.
It plays a toll on you.
Yeah.
Psychologically.
It does.
For a long time, sleeping was not something I got to do because of some of the scenes I've had to work.
Yeah, some of the repeats.
And that's why I'm so appreciative for the administration that we have now, because they do push mental health and getting counseling and things of that nature. And honestly, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't still be a police officer.
Let me ask you this, man. Like you say, it play a toll on your mind. So, not saying you, but I mean, a day-to-day officer who goes out and witness something like that, I'm pretty sure crime plays a good part at night. So, somebody who regularly sees that or is dealing with it, how do y'all do? How's y'all mental system in y'all in the police department? How do y'all get that under hand as far as somebody who sees it not regularly, but I mean more than a few times?
You know, we look out for each other.
Mm-hmm.
We make sure each other's good, because if you work with a person so long, you kind of know them.
Okay.
And we adjust accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell anyone, it's difficult seeing that type of stuff continuously. Like I said, it changes you.
Like I say, most people don't understand what y'all go through on a day-to-day basis versus somebody walking up to your window and knocking on it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
so
we don't get to encounter people on their best day.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you go from seeing a crime scene to now you knocking on windows, you know what I'm saying, asking for ID, and you don't know what's on this person's mind. And like I say, you just got through witnessing this, and it might have been the most horrific thing that you saw this week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And
it all goes back to we're human just like everybody else.
Exactly. So I'm saying your nerves are up, and you're knocking on his window, and you roll the window down. You might smell weed. He might be aggressive. Not saying you, but where does the officer's mind go, knowing what he just saw last month? Now he's dealing with an aggressive, hostile person that car smells like weed. Might not be any weed in there, but it smells like weed, and he's hostile. Are you on edge? I mean, are you touching your hip? I don't say like.
So let me address the touching the hip thing. People used to fuss about me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He put his hand on his gun.
Yeah,
that's just how I stand.
Yeah, you supposed to.
It ain't got nothing. I'm not even thinking about my gun, honestly. But I got 35 pounds around my waist. I'm tired probably, and I'm just relaxing my arms. So just because you see an officer stand like that, don't necessarily mean they're reaching for the gun.
Okay, well let me ask you this then. This I mean, this is funny. I don't know if you can answer or not. What's the wipe down the car? When you go and you feel the car, when you walk into the window, what is it?
I can't answer that.
Are you trying to check if I just shifted it in gear? You trying to feel the?
It's an old school philosophy, but it has nothing to do with the person.
I don't want to give up no secrets. Then you're right. My bad. I just want to know. I want to see what the finger, the smooth finger, because everybody got that one touch that just go down the rim. You know what I'm saying? When they let go, when they get by the window, they just.
I ain't never paid attention to that. Now I'm upset. I feel like I missed something.
Yeah, you definitely missed that, because I mean, that's part of the program. You know what I'm saying? The soft
part
rub.
Of the program. Okay.
I
Well,
think
we roll.
Every time I look at my review, it's the soft rub.
As we roll, I'm gonna find out about that soft rub. I gotta figure it.
Okay.
Well, now I need to know. I'm gonna ask them.
That means you kind of breaking the law a little bit.
Okay, well, I don't want to do that. But I'll say, as we wrap this thing up, because it's been kind of about an hour and a half. But as we wrap it up, how do you regulate though? Because he was saying, how do you regulate the emotions at the car? I think we want to hit that, and then after you answer how you regulate those emotions in the car, I think it'd be very good for you to leave us with, and I know you got to pull a card, but to leave us with, what is one thing you want? I didn't know if you were doing that today. Okay, okay, because I know we hit the time frame. We own it, and he got to get to the baby. He got to get to that baby. We an hour and a half.
If you got some more, we got more questions you want to ask. It's cool.
But I just want to say this: how do you regulate those emotions, and what is one thing you want people to know about Officer Brown? And then you hit it.
Self-control, and that's something that we teach continuously, is self-control.
Do you think everybody got self-control, or you just speaking on your behalf?
We teach self-control, and I'm confident that our officers have self-control. And wherever there is a lack of, we have another officer that's going to be there to kind of say, hey, man, ring that in.
That's why you need two in the car?
Walk it in.
No, the two in the car is typically training purposes.
Well, lately they've been spurring them on.
But that's the reason why you typically want that person. I mean, me, when I first came out, I was a mouthy one. You know, I'm the police, right?
Were you aggressive when you first came on? Were you?
No, I was just a ticket writer. I wasn't aggressive.
I'm saying like when you came up, you was like, yeah, you know, you did 50 and the 30. You know what time it is.
No, I mean I was. So my dream job was to be a state trooper.
Okay. So what's the difference? I always want to know that. So what's
Fair
the difference?
question. State troopers work for the state.
Okay.
They are highway patrol, and they work in different capacities, but they have state jurisdiction.
Okay.
Your sheriff's office typically cover the county.
Okay.
Anything outside of a municipality.
Mm-hmm.
So like Gray County Sheriff's Office covers everything outside of Gladewater, Lakeport, Longview, Kilgore.
Okay.
And then you have municipal police, which is like me.
Okay.
I only work at Longview PD.
Okay.
I have jurisdiction, so to speak. I have authority throughout the whole state of Texas because I'm a peace officer with the state of Texas. But my jurisdiction is Longview.
Okay.
So, excuse me, that's the answer to that question.
Self-control, regulating yourself, making sure that you remain a professional in the middle of, regardless of what it may be that you encounter. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Let me ask you this. I went on the mic earlier, and I know, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if you're on the time schedule or not, but I got a few more questions. Your wife walking out the door, how do you think she feel? I mean, now you in the office.
So
don't
my
count
wife
that
is
time.
fortunate.
Okay, go ahead.
We weren't together when I was a street officer.
Oh, okay.
I've worked in the office as long as we've been together.
Mm-hmm.
When we got together, I was a PAR officer, and now I'm the PIO. So she's never seen
The other side of it.
me be a patrol officer, and the few times that I've had to fill in there, it drives her crazy. So, at the end of the day, it's my mission to go back home to her every day. And that's every officer. They want to go back home, you know.
That's everybody on our end too.
Yeah. I mean, it's both sides.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Everybody
agree
want to get
wholeheartedly.
home.
So
So
my wife, she's never seen that side. You know, when I've had to fill in on nights or something like that, it drives her crazy because she's worried. Because, you know, any day I walk out the door with that uniform on, could be my very last day.
all right, Mr. Brown, let us tap at you one time, man. I really got a lot more questions. Like I said, I wasn't on the mic earlier, and it was plenty for me to be on the mic, but I got to take the charge and say I wasn't on the mic.
He gonna
earlier.
call you back.
Yeah, every time.
If you don't mind coming back, I can't say that I know you coming back because I mean you came on to set the record straight, and did you set the record straight? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, did you get what you needed to get off?
The things that y'all talked about last time, yeah, we've cleared that up.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Was you pleased with your responses, your answers, everything in that
I'm
nature?
good, man.
Okay. Now for this,
I ain't left yet, so we're good.
that's what I'm saying. Don't say I know you got work in the morning. I don't
Our
want to.
goal is not to run y'all.
No,
most
we're
definitely.
really trying to like. when we
These are
talking about-
questions that
They need to be
citizens
answered. You
in
know what
our
I'm saying?
community
And like I
have.
said, I have a lot more questions, and it's not in the light of the community. It's just questions that people need to understand about how y'all operate and how both sides operate. Because you know you got one side that operate by book, and you have some people that operate by common sense or operate by the street. And those are really two different important parts because some people don't understand common sense and some people don't understand the law. And then you have some people that understand that, oh, I understand why he did that. I understand why he went to jail. But in certain situations, most people go dumb and be like, oh, no, they're messing with us.
Fucking with me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They fuck with me. They doing X, Y, Z. And a lot of people, once you get a lot of people who and rah, and especially if it's a popular person, you will never win that battle of trying to understand, you know what I'm saying, trying to make people understand like why this situation happened.
Oh, I'm well aware.
So that's why I want to make sure that you got that out. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say you got it out, but I want to make light of the sense of what people think and how people go about situations. I want it to be both. Like I said, you got three people that's in the area of being from the streets or just knowledgeable of what's going on, and with you wearing a badge on the other side, I want to make sure that it's understood about how certain situations operate and how sometimes you can run off at the mouth and you just run your mouth and not understanding like, nah, you got to play it by law and common sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just go dumb and just be oh, well, they didn't do X, Y, Z. Oh, they just shot him dead in the street. Well, I mean, we saw him reaching his back pocket. What did he reach for? You know what I'm saying? Or you might have a situation where they say, oh, well, he didn't have anything. Well, you got to understand that this officer is also fighting for his life. But then you got some laws that, and I'm not saying in Longview, but in some certain cities, they weren't paying attention to none of that. They understand that you a problem and they trying to get rid of you.
I'll tell anyone, Flip. I honestly feel, and I know some people think that I just say it because I work there. I honestly feel I work for the most professional law enforcement agency.
Okay.
Stop, man.
I'm serious.
Stop,
And this is what the opinion come in. I don't know what's on his mind, but
here's why I say that.
okay.
I've seen other departments.
Mhm.
I've been to other departments.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to work, but I've seen.
Yeah. You see how the operation go.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm telling you.
Would you like my opinion?
Huh?
Would you like my opinion? I went through the transition on the other side of the fence. So what I'm saying is, it's a bunch of stuff y'all got going on right now. It'd be a bunch of loopholes for me in my younger days, because it's never been a time to where the cops and the criminals was the same age. Because on the average, we was dealing with a 38 to 40-some-year-old dude trying to chase down a 19 to 20-some, 30-year-old.
What was your time like versus what his time like now? Like what you was dealing with back in the past, what's your time like now?
Right now, it's just guns. Like
yeah, you said that earlier.
When I was
It's
coming
more guns
through,
than
it was
drugs.
money.
Mm-hmm.
It was money. It was an understanding. Hey, we might take your money and let you go. We might take your dough.
Did you have officers coming and telling y'all like, man, hey, this ain't it. Go, yeah, move around.
Man, we had them. We had Radar. We had Edwards. We had Big John. We had Danny. We had them.
So how do you bring that back? How do you go find you a good, you know what I mean? Like go find you an officer to pull it. I'm just asking.
I'm glad you said that, because the point of me bringing up the fact that they started in 95, every 2 years, picking them up to 2011.
Okay.
It'll never come back, because what they did when he said we got to trust the process, we've been trusting the process. And what we did in the process is this here. You told these kids, fuck the money, don't worry about the money, because if they catch you with these drugs, you're going to get 15 years. But if you commit the right term in murder, you'll get 7 years. Or you might not get no time at all.
So that's not us.
I gotta say it's y'all, because I don't know where y'all thought this was gonna go.
So when it comes down to sentencing and how long folks get and all that good stuff,
we're not talking about the sentencing.
Okay.
We're talking about the fact that South of 80 was targeted with crack like it wasn't meth and cocaine powder over there in Wildwood. We talking about the fact that we was targeted from 95 to 2011, and half the shit that we had to cook up, whatever, it was coming out of the neighborhoods over here. So it's like everybody knew what was going on, but nobody. I'll give you a prime example. Who killed Jiffy? And everybody was playing like didn't nobody know who killed Harani. So it's like, come on, dude, like we know what's going on. Like we know what's going on. So that's why I say, I don't know what we need to do now to come back to where it's a community or whatever, because the community got messed up when everybody was getting hauled off 30 and 40 at a time, because y'all wasn't hauling off 30, 40 murderers, 30, 40 dope fiends. Y'all was hauling off 30, 40 people that was trying to get cement trucks, asphalt, and start businesses. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the way we was going about getting the money was right, but the people that y'all was dealing with then, for as criminals, we had an understanding that, okay, you caught us, it's time to sit down, we'll try it again next time. What y'all dealing with now is not what y'all was dealing with then. What y'all dealing with now is, I'm finna kill this motherfucker and get away with it.
Well, I hate to hear that people think that that you can do that and get away with it. That is not the goal. That is not the mission. It is our goal to eliminate that whole thought process that you can kill anyone in this community and get away with it. I want people to know that if you commit something like that, that the Longview Police Department is going to do everything that we can to get you gone, to get you locked up. But once we make the arrest, it's out of our hands. It's in the in the district attorney, it's in the judge's hands from that point.
There.
And depending on the type of if it's a bench trial or a jury trial, if it's a bench trial, it's up to the judge. If it's jury trial, it's up to the people.
Okay, I respect it. Which card you want to tap at tonight? Well, you know what? Let me break it down. So we do a little thing, you know, kind of around the end of the show. We let you pick a card. You read it. You can shuffle it. You can do whatever you want to, but whatever card is on top, you got to read it.
Oh wow!
So it's not none of this is plotted, none of this is planned. Whatever card you want to snatch off, I mean, it's all on you.
What does the black one say?
Vulnerable.
And
he didn't already put it over there. Oh, okay. He putting all of them over there for you. You
Well,
can't look at none of them. You just got
Okay.
to shuffle and you run with it. If you want, how I do the game is you can have each of us pull a card, or you can pull a card and you can read, and we go off the one card.
This ought to be interesting.
Whatever it is, you can't put it back.
What was the lowest point of your life, and how did you overcome it?
See,
Don't say when I was across the street. Don't say that, man. I bought you a kite. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Honestly, I would say the lowest point in my life was March of 2020. I lost my grandfather, and the pastor that mentored me into preaching, Reverend Vandell Smith. I lost both of them within a 2-week time period. That was definitely one of the lowest points in my life. Before that, I had never had to deal with grief, really. I had a little brother die when I was 6 years old. So, you know, at the age of 6, you really don't.
You don't adapt to it. You don't.
But at this point, I was an adult.
It hit different.
I tried to overcome it with alcohol. So I found myself trying to drink myself to sleep every night. But counseling, that's how I overcame it.
Does counseling really work? And it's for your culture.
In my humble opinion, yes.
It helped me.
Why not a friend? Why counseling?
Because they're trained to help you navigate.
Okay.
I know culturally we typically just say, pray about it, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a Christian. I'm a devoted Christian. I believe in the power of prayer.
Why not to the church?
Huh?
Why not go to the church?
What you mean why not go to church?
Versus a counselor.
Some churches do have counseling
Okay.
that's associated with the church.
Okay.
And I have people inside of our church that are LPCs, which is licensed professional counselors. So, so we do have access to that within Parkview. But sometimes prayer is not 100% enough to where I need to talk to a person. So that's how I was able to overcome it.
Church.
Counseling.
Counseling. Oh, no, I heard you with counseling.
Yeah.
I'm saying with church.
Yeah.
Virtually, you know what I'm saying? Talking yourself through it.
And I'm not
at
going
the
to say
same time.
church.
Okay. My bad.
My
fault,
faith.
My fault. Faith. Okay.
Church and faith is two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Church is the organized body in which I am able to celebrate and exercise my faith.
Okay. I like the way you put that. I was just saying that in the sense of I know somebody watching it and they might be going through it, and I'm trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, what steps they could take to get there.
Get you some counseling. If you are associated with a church, see if counseling is available there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have Christian counseling, then they're able to help you navigate it in a faith-based way. But if you don't have access to that, hey, any counseling, in my opinion, is better than none.
Okay.
Any professional counseling is better than none.
And let me ask you this. So let's just say we got a group of young kids. Well, I'm gonna say YNs in this era. What should they look for as far as if they are approached by law enforcement, or if they are approached by any situation that they have as far as trouble wise, how should they handle it, or what should they clean up as far as, you know what I'm saying, staying out of the radar as far as, let's just say I'm in a car with a group of friends. What's the first step I should take if you're knocking on my window? Because, you know, in a lot of situations, you get a lot of complaints about, well, they treat them like this, they did this, or we was hanging on the corner, they came over here and picked on us. what's the steps that they should take, or what avenues should they feel like they need to address themselves as to handle the situation a lot better?
Well, I'll tell any kid to be respectful with any adult that you encounter, whether if it's a police officer or just in general. I think that's one of the downfalls that we do have as a society. We don't teach respect. Whether you respect police or just another adult, that's just the way it should be. So respect would be the first thing I would tell them. But I just wouldn't tell kids that. I would tell anybody that.
Mm-hmm.
Respect goes a long way.
What do y'all see more trouble out of? Is it adults or is it kids? I mean, when I say kids, I mean like 18.
I hadn't really looked at those numbers, so I can't really say.
Okay.
But within my experience, and this is just my personal career path, it's been mostly adults. Kids have typically been a little bit easier for me to deal with. So, yeah, that's how I answer that.
Okay, I respect that. Winsley, got anything, man?
Man, I appreciate you coming out, Pooh. Like, for real.
I appreciate it. I
Actually,
didn't
it
get
was
to
my
shake your
pleasure.
hand earlier, man. I was on here on the mixing the master,
You're fine, I
man. But
understand.
got to catch it before we leave out. But is there anything that you wanna express or get off? I mean, or let the people know, what I'm saying, your credentials, how to seek help, how to if a crime is needed to be handled, how do they get a hold to not only you but just the safest way possible?
Hey, you can call 903-237-1199. That's the number in which you can get a hold of anyone during the day. You can call 903-237-1170. That's our non-emergency number. You can talk to dispatch. They will gladly get you linked up. Calling me necessarily is not always the easiest thing to do because of the job that I have. I have to attend a lot of meetings and things of that nature. But hey, my cell phone number's on the website. My email address is on the website. If you go to Longview Police, you're able to look up under the Community Relations tab, and then you'll see I think I had a black beard in that picture. You'll see my face, and it has all my contact information on there. Depending on what area of town, you can contact your police area representative. I just want folks to understand that we are actually here to help folks. That's what we're here for. That's what we want to do. That's what we aim to do. But I can't help you if I don't know. Yeah. So I just encourage people to let us know what you got going on.
Like you said, y'all taking a step forward on trying to figure out how to go about that, right?
Absolutely.
And I feel like the first step, this is just my opinion, community progress. I mean, y'all start having events to where a community can come and we start seeing things change from Monday to Friday. You know what I'm saying? Not just this Friday to Saturday, Monday to Friday, to where whoever's in that beat, or you know what I'm saying, that area is more socialized. Like you said, y'all got to cause more action. I feel like the more you know, the better the situation. Because a lot of people, a lot of police watch children grow up, and the same person they watch grow up, they arrest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that right there is already broken once it starts. You know what I'm saying? I see that daily is you meet and greet at Chick-fil-A, or you meet and greet at the high school or a school, and then later on down the years you're arrested. So I feel like, yeah, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like getting in the streets and you actually knowing your community and knowing how to kind of guide and be a mentor and correct certain situations on people growing up, you know what I'm saying? Teaching them avenues. And I honestly feel like that's a lot of situations that happen with people. A lot of people don't have avenues or know which way to turn, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have mentors, you know what I'm saying, to where they can lead them into a successful field. A lot of people, all they know is the streets, or they know when they go to school is turn up and do extra.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. Everybody's definition of success is different.
Yeah, most definitely.
And that's the reason why, we do these career days at the schools and stuff like that, because we really want the younger generation to understand that this is an honorable profession. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I would love to see more people from Longview come work at Longview PD.
We got them.
And
it's more than you think.
I would encourage people to try to go through the process to get hired here and work here.
Why?
I'm in my, go ahead.
No, good. No, I was just gonna ask, why should somebody come work for the PD? What are the benefits? What is the what mind frame should they have when they come in? What mind frame do y'all look for?
Well, we look for someone that's going to be honest and someone that's trainable. You know,
Okay.
For me, you know, it wasn't necessarily a shoe-in for me. I had to work to get into this point. I worked for the sheriff's office before I came here. I actually worked in the jail for 2 years.
Yeah.
Before I even hit the streets. And I will say that working in the jail helped me a lot because it was a certain side of this profession I did not know until I got in the jail, and I wore a cowboy hat when I worked in there, and
I remember I came up there when you
called me Cowboy Troy and Trevette
Okay.
while I was in there. But I really think that people have to. I want the younger folks to understand that, you know, this is a great way to give back to your community. It's a great way to keep your community safe. And for me, you know, it was just one of those that I saw the profession. I liked it. I wanted to go to the military. Couldn't go. This was the next best thing. And been here 13 years now.
Hey, that's what's up, man. We appreciate you for your service. Like I say, a lot of people that's outside looking in, man, they don't understand how the situations work or how things go. But I feel like the night you kind of open it up and you kind of let a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, be known to where it's not sheltered or it's not, you know what I'm saying, it's not something that you can hide from as far as questions. I mean, you get opportunity to ask questions and I feel like you answered everything that you know what I'm saying, was through it.
To the best of my abilities.
Yeah, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? But I say we're gonna close you out, man, and you already gave your credentials or where they need to reach you if you need any help. I appreciate you coming on the Birds View, man. Like I say, sadly, we'll be out the door at April the 1st. If you had any, my bad, Wednesday, damn.
We ain't going on, bro. We going location, baby. We ain't going.
If you had anybody else in you know in office or anything in that nature that you feel like needs to come on and speak their piece,
Yeah,
we would
try to
definitely appreciate it.
Trying to get them up here.
I understand.
You know,
Yeah,
because
we
we don't
really
want y'all to
I'm
do
not-
something and then say, you know, we not.
Yeah,
informed.
most definitely. I don't
They don't
want
really help us out.
like I say, if they don't want to come on, I'm not forcing anything. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No, I wasn't forced to be here.
Yeah, most definitely. You know
yeah,
what
I
I'm
wasn't forced to be here.
I'm not begging or anything of that nature for somebody to come on and give their point of view.
But I'm gonna
But
be
I-
honest with you, Flip.
Mhm.
There are people that may watch this
Mhm.
that they're not going to come to my Citizen Police Academy.
Yeah.
They're not going to come to our business academy.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to come attend National Night Out.
Yeah.
They're not going to come to the NNO kickoff. They're not going to participate in Project 365. They're not going to read our stats. They're not going to tune into the city council meetings, and they're not going to watch our videos. Some folks typically only follow our Facebook page just to
That
talk
is
bad
true.
about us.
Yeah, it is true.
And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come on here. Because I felt that I could reach a group of people
Mm-hmm.
that I can't reach on an everyday basis.
I mean, most definitely.
And,
Yeah, what was
and
it?
I want that open dialogue
Like I say,
with every piece, every corner, every street, every neighborhood of our community. I want to have that open dialogue with them. And I can tell you, our administration feels the same way.
and that's why I feel like more people should come on. Like I said, I'm not forcing it. I'm not
I'm not going to say everybody will come on here at 8 o'clock at night either, though.
No.
We gonna get better at that.
No,
man.
we do
We
better
got
at
jobs
times.
too. I've been playing.
I
all
just
day.
know that people, you know what I'm saying, they deal with their work schedule. So I was trying to schedule it to where people are clocking out.
No, I understand.
But like you said, you get off at a certain amount of time. We might need to shoot around that time and keep it in the
That's your only
daytime.
complaint. 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
I
rough
got
for
you.
you.
Listen,
It's a little rough.
I got you. If we can get you back on and we can reputate about, you know, maybe you bring somebody on with you and we all sit here, we all folks sit here and we actually talk about it. We have a civilized conversation and we get some answers answered that the people actually want to hear.
Yeah,
I'm
bring
all for
Danny
it.
with you.
Oh, Danny
Bring
Danny retired.
Yeah, but bring him on anyway.
Commissioner Craig?
No, Danny,
Nah, he
Danny
said-
Butler.
Oh,
Go dig. Go.
Danny is retired.
I
What
hadn't
about
talked to
him?
Danny Butler in a long time. I don't even know where he is.
He ain't too far.
I would like to have Danny Butler on because I definitely did hear about him in the 90s, and I'm not trying to bring up his past, but I definitely want to know what the 90s was about from another from the other side of the fence.
I understand that.
And I like I said, I always want to let people know that we're not here to target or we're not here to jump bones or pressure conversation. I just simply want to have a natural conversation, man, and
You
hope
want to
that
hear what the facts you got on your
I
brain.
want to hear
That's what we
facts, and I want to mingle in the conversation where we can get a lot of answered to where people feel comfortable with walking up and talking to the officers or walking up and making phone calls about certain situations to where we can get the streets a safer place. Because I don't know if you know it or not, but I ride my window down with my hand out the window. I like to feel comfortable. So I mean, if we can build a better community, I'm all for it.
You know,
But-
and yet again, that's all about those relationships. I was at the grocery store last night at Fresh, and
Yeah, Fresh is it.
I'm
Everybody hanging out at
I was
minding
at-
my
I've been at Fresh
own
for 3 weeks.
business in the fruit section. My daughter wanted some oranges, so I was up there,
I'm telling you,
and
man.
somebody across the store hollered out, "Hey, Officer Brown," and I said, if I got $1 for every time I heard that, I'd be a
Yeah.
rich man.
Almost definitely.
But a lot of that has to do with relationships, and hear me well. We're finna be working on that. We're finna work on that out of car experience.
And I saw y'all had a podcast too at the LPD too.
Yes, sir.
Shout out the podcast. What
As
do
a
y'all
matter
talk
of
about
fact,
on there?
This past month, we talked about the Longview 1919 race riots. We had a conversation about
Should
that.
have been there, Weasley. Should have been
Them my
And
folks. Them was our folks that did that.
there.
Clint Holmes.
Half of them that was in the ride ran to Steeple Grove, P-Town.
See, that's why I said we should have been there. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like
Tell
you
the
was
truth.
getting a succession.
Yeah, them my folks that did all that.
So, hey, tune in to Longview PD on air. That's our podcast. That's what we talked about this past month. This month, for the month of March, the episode is going to be talking about those crime stats and things of that nature, to where you can tune in and hear what those stats are and the comparison to the previous years. We'll have our assistant chief of police. He'll be on there talking about that. And that's another thing that I do with our department. So we've changed it up a little bit. But yeah, definitely tune in. You can learn a lot about the department just on that podcast.
Straight up, man. Last, I ain't gonna hold you up no more, man. I wish I was sitting in the church earlier where I had questions flowing, but I mean, I do love being behind the camera.
You be back.
You know what I'm saying? So
You be back.
hopefully
I
you
got-
be
I
back.
got
I'm not for, like I said, not forcing it.
Yeah, I
mean,
need to come back because
What we got?
I've seen some episodes
Come on, kick it.
and my name been called out a lot.
You know what? You have been called out
Carrie
on the,
and Maisha both
yeah, I would say on 2 episodes.
called me out. So I would love to have a dialogue with you as Pastor Brown.
Oh, come on, man. I need you.
I think
And I want you to understand this too, though. I talk in theory. I only talk in debate. It's not something I believe in. It's not something that I put. I just talk in debate.
I got you.
I just want you to know that before we get on. So don't come in with the idea that this is what he believed. I only talk in debate.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
And I definitely shout out to Carrie and Maisha. They're both distant members of Parkview, but love both of them dearly. And Carrie is
to the
actually
church.
the link, huh?
No, I was just saying, shout out to the church.
You said-
Parkview, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to the church.
Yeah, Parkview Baptist Church. Yeah, absolutely. 2014 South Green Street, right across from Craig Funeral Home.
Straight up.
But yeah, I appreciate them even getting me hooked up with you to
Nah, most definitely.
to be here tonight.
We're gonna close it out. But is there anybody that you want to see, or that you feel like should be on the podcast going forward? And I'm not just talking about the law enforcement, just anybody, just as far as a need to hear information. And
I think it'd be good if people understood how city government and all that type of stuff works. So
Mhm.
maybe someone who can come in and educate that,
okay.
and kind of give you the ins and outs of
Mhm.
How all that system works.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because hey, Longview PD, we're just a small piece of
Oh yeah,
a big
y'all one sided.
puzzle for the city of Longview. So I think that would probably be good as well.
Okay. And like I said, I don't want to.
But before we go, I just want to remind folks, hey, we want to be a relationship.
Yeah, most definitely.
We really want to be a
that's
relationship.
what I want you to sit down for. And I want
Project 365 is taking place in your old stomping grounds in Rollins Addition this year.
What is Project 365?
Project 365 is a city operation where the police, we kind of organize it, but we're not the only ones that's a part of it.
Okay.
Every department within the city comes together to help clean up a certain area of town to improve the quality of life for that certain part. And this year, Rollins Addition was chosen. So, one Saturday in April, and we'll be posting it on the PD's Facebook soon. There's a cleanup day where we'll be going in, cleaning up the area, getting rid of all the junk and illegal dumping and litter and all that good stuff. So people are more than welcome to volunteer to come out and help with that. That'll be a great opportunity for folks that's from the area to come out and volunteer in the area. Just because it's just us showing up and loving on this, giving this area some love, and so we'll be out there cleaning up. We're working to improve the lighting of street lights. We're looking at cleaning streets and cleaning up yards and people that need help in certain areas, having churches to come. We facilitate it.
Okay. I was going to say, well, y'all showing up. Y'all doing all that.
But we facilitate it, but we partner with a lot of people to make it happen.
Okay.
It's our name's on it, but a whole lot of folks work together to make it happen. If you want to know more information about Project 365, you can contact Officer LaRoyce Johnson. He's the person that's leading that task up. You might probably know LaRoyce. Y'all might have went to school together, actually. He ended up leaving Longview, going to Pine Tree. That's where he graduated from.
I know a LaRoyce.
Big LaRoyce. But anyway.
I'm trying to find it. I mean, I know a LaRoyce. I want to say he came to the shop. I think his sister's bought a shirt before, but I'm not sure.
Who knows? But
who knows?
LaRoyce Johnson, he's the police area representative for South Longview, and he's the person that's leading that charge. You can reach out to him. His number's on our website as well.
Okay. We're going to push this button, man, but at the end, do you have anything for the youth or for the people for your I want to say LPD? What is your main end game and your vision for the community? For you close down, I promise you I'm going to push this button. I just want to make sure
our main goal and game is to do everything we can within our legal rights to improve the quality of life for the citizens of Longview.
Good answer.
And
I appreciate that.
Doing so while providing professional policing.
I appreciate that, man. Like I said, I appreciate you having you on, man. It was a joy. Like I said, I wish I could have sat down with you, but hopefully we'll have you on again in the future. I mean, damn, I said the first didn't. I keep talking about the future, and I said I'm closing it down first.
You're not.
I'm sorry, guys.
We're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna
figure it out.
Officer Brown, like I say, we gonna. My bad. You said you didn't want Officer Brown.
Hey,
he said call him Poole.
I did not say that.
My bad.
I never said that.
I don't know which angle to go.
Just call me Brown, man. I know you're talking
Brown,
to me.
you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate having you on. I feel like you was well needed, man, for the platform. I feel like you was well needed for the community. Keep up your good work, you know what I'm saying? If you can encourage other people in the department to think like how you think and also listen to other people outside in the community, I feel like that's a step forward to getting us to where we need to be. With that, I'm gonna close this out. I gotta push about 3-4 buttons, but we enjoy having you.
My pleasure. I'm glad I was able to be here.
All right. Are we invited to the LPD podcast? Am I invited? Can we get on
We'll
this?
see.
Okay. I don't want you to give me a good answer.
Am I invited?
I just want to know.
Invited to the podcast?
If you invite me
We'll
on,
see.
just put listen, I just want you to put me on as, and I don't care how it look. I just want you to put me on as suspect Hornets. Just I don't care what the narrative is. I just want to make it, you know what I'm saying, spontaneous. I want them to know who I am. I want them to feel like I just came out the cell and I got something to say. I want to spice it up. Put me on Halloween schedule.
I don't know if I'm gonna do all that now.
Put me on the Halloween schedule. You know what I'm saying? Spice me up. Make it seem like I'm coming in raw from the cell.
Here we go.
I'm just throwing it out there, man. And you know, that's all I ask. So look for me October.
So what's your curfew, man? You supposed to be in at the house?
Hey, my daughter goes to bed at 8 o'clock.
Oh, she need to see you before she go to bed. Ain't nothing wrong with
My
that.
son go to bed. That's crazy.
Ain't
My
nothing
daughter's
wrong-
2.
Okay, that makes sense.